Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this video. Time to dive into the book.
Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today's video is two things. It's an announcement video for a fun summer little reading game that I am a part of, and it's also going to be the mid-year freakout tag. So my friend Nicky at my messy bookshelf, she created a Booktube Quest, which is sort of like a scavenger hunt bingo game that is just for fun, so that while you are watching videos, you can be looking for these little prompts and see how many you can find. So this is going to run from July 1st to August 31st. Yes. And so I am going to be co-hosting this with Nicky and also Lauren and Ben with The Youngs and the Restless, and Meli at Meli and the Margins. So we do have a it's a card with the link in the description box so that you can be looking for these prompts. And there's some fun little trickier ones that you'll really have to be looking for. Have to really look at everyone's videos and go through all the channels so that you find all of them. But some examples are, somebody who's holding a mug while they're doing their video. Another example is a dog barking in the background. And then also somebody that raves about a book that you hate. So just fun little prompts so that while you're watching videos, you can be kind of looking for these extra other things. And yeah, so just for fun, just bragging rights, nothing crazy, but just kind of making watching everybody's videos a little bit more interactive. So if you are a booktuber, you can update in your weekly reading, your, whatever updates you want to put it in your videos, that the channels that you have seen the prompts and then how many you have found. And if you're a subscriber, in the videos that you watch, if you put it in the comments that, you noticed that thing, the dog barking in the background or the mug, just to play along and see how many you can find. So should be really fun. Yes, so be looking for that. That's starting July 1st. And now I am going to do the mid-year freakout book tag. And I've seen several people do these. I have not done one yet. And I saw my friend Brindis do hers, and I thought, I think I'll actually participate. And then Nicky tagged me. And so I was like, I will definitely participate. So the mid-year freakout tag, the first prompt, let's see. Okay. And I guess we're not sure where this tag began or who started it, but the first prompt is, the best book you've read so far for 2026. And I am going to go with Lonesome Dove. I've read, 4 books this year that I have deemed 5-star, which is a lot for me for the first half of the year. But this one is freshest in my head, and I loved it so much that this is like my favorite, but also Memoirs of a Geisha. That was fantastic. Briar Club and The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. Those were all 5 stars. So a lot of really good reading so far for 2026. And then prompt number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2026. And in looking back at what I've read so far, the only thing that would count as for that is The Fourth Wing. I read the first one and then I read the second one. I think there's 3 in the series, maybe 4, but those are the only ones that actually qualify for that. So I'll say Fourth Wing. And then number 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I don't really keep track of new releases that are coming out. If I stumble upon them, that's usually how I end up reading something that's newer. But I don't know. I haven't been watching or keeping track, and I don't normally, so I don't have an answer for that prompt. And the next one, number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Again, I don't know. I don't have an answer for this. Number 5, biggest disappointment. And that is most recently The Museum of Extraordinary Things. I just read that for my book club. And that was a disappointment. I thought it was going to be a lot better. But then also Sanibel Flats. I started reading a Doc Ford book that there's a long series of Doc Ford books and I want to like them. I wanted to like them. And honestly, I think I'm going to DNF that first book. I think what I'm going to do is move to the second book, see and hope if it gets better. Because again, it's sort of like sometimes I have to question myself. Why are you pushing through? What is the point? What am I getting out of finishing this? I can see where it's headed. And I'm not impressed by it. And I don't know that it's really going to matter if I push through and finish it. So I may just jump to the second one. So those are my disappointments. Number 6, biggest surprise. And I'm going to go with The Dutch House. I read an Ann Patchett book and you know what? I should have looked this up. So I read State of Wonder by Ann Patchett probably a year or so ago. And I liked it. I based on Goodreads, I gave it a 5 stars. It was very interesting, very involved. And I liked it, but it was definitely like a path that she took you on. Dutch House, completely different. But it was so good. And we read this for Audio Miles and it was, narrated by Tom Hanks. And I think that may have contributed to why it was so good. The experience of listening to it, but the story itself was awesome. So I think maybe because I didn't have really any knowledge of the Dutch House going into it other than what I had read on the sleeve or the description, yeah, and it's nothing like State of Wonder that I read from Ann Patchett. So, but it was very good. Very good. Okay, let's get back to the prompts. And favorite new author, debut or new to you. And that is going to be my Larry McMurtry. I am looking for, I'm going to get The Streets of Laredo. It's the one that comes after this, and I will definitely read that. And then there are 2 prequels. And so, yeah, because, I mean, for such a big book, I read it very fast and it was just very easy to read. And, so just based on this, I am super excited to read his other books. So we'll say Larry McMurtry. And then number 8, newest fictional crush. That also is for Lonesome Dove. And it's not new because I remember in the movie, but Augustus McCrae, he's definitely crush worthy. Number 9, newest favorite character. And I was going through the books and looking at all the ones that I had read, and I don't know that there's a favorite character. Maybe Claire in Lonesome Dove. She's a very strong woman. And she does things her own way and she has her own reasoning and she, definitely, so I liked her. I couldn't think of anybody, so we'll go with Claire. Okay. And then number 10, book that made you cry. Lonesome Dove. Several times for different reasons. So this is a Lonesome Dove time. But yeah, I cried a couple of times reading that book. Okay. And then number 11, book that made you happy. So I will say, The Dutch House and Memoirs of a Geisha. At different points in the story, not the whole thing. They were not necessarily feel-good reads, but they are. I mean, they have high points and they give you, they're not dark and depressing and everything. They're very good stories. And so out of what I read, I would say they made me happy, at points. Number 12, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I didn't buy it, but I did get it in a little free library. And it is quite beautiful. This is Inamorata, and it has this beautiful, their teeth. Looks like jewelry made out of teeth. And, you know, you open it up and it is very beautiful. It is quite a beautiful book. Sort of like a dark gothic, I think fantasy. I think, I didn't really like read too much. I know I picked it up, I read it, and it's sort of like it's another world. It's another world, and it's book 1 of a long series. But very beautiful. Okay. And then prompt number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? You know, just working through my 50 before 50, I'm sort of, I had my stack that I designated for myself 1 through 12. Like as long as I picked one each month and I got through them in the year, then that was the thing that I set for myself. And then now the reading challenge of 50 before 50, I will, you know, kind of incorporate that. So I'll make good attempts. And I've been successful this whole year for my 1 of 12. So those are the ones that I have just put aside for myself that like, you need to read these. You read other things, but these need to get done. So that would be, all that I need to read by the end of the year. So yeah, this is a fun tag. I don't know why I didn't want to do it at first. But it is fun to go back and look at what you've read so far. And hopefully you will participate in our Booktube Quest and just have fun going through watching everybody's videos. And yeah, so it'll be a good summer, good July. And thank you for watching. And until next time, I will be reading.